Hey, Raiders fans, we are back again, and there is so much to break down about our Las Vegas Raiders. Even though the past few weeks have been quieter than usual, there's still plenty happening behind the scenes, and I want to give you the latest updates, thoughts, and some perspective on what it all means for this team moving forward. Let's start with one of the big stories that has been circulating lately. Jacoby Meyers' decision to join the Jacksonville Jaguars instead of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, both teams reportedly put similar offers on the table, a 4th-round and a 6th-round pick. And you would think on paper it would be a tough call, right? But when it comes to football decisions, especially for a player like Jacoby, it often goes beyond just the numbers and the contract. Relationships matter, fit matters, and the chance to make an immediate impact can be the deciding factor. In this case, my gut tells me the biggest reason Jacoby chose Jacksonville over Pittsburgh comes down to Edgar Bennett, the former Raiders wide receivers coach who is now in Jacksonville. That connection, combined with the opportunity to potentially step in as the #1 receiver while Travis Hunter is out, seems like the perfect environment for a player looking to showcase his talent and carve out a prominent role. It's not just about being part of a team. It's about being part of a system where you can thrive, and it seems like Jacksonville offered that kind of opportunity. For Pittsburgh, that same chance wasn't really there. They have their depth, their lineup, and while they offered the same draft picks, the fit simply wasn't ideal for Jacoby's goals or timeline. And honestly, you have to respect the way the Raiders handled the situation as well. Giving the player the freedom to make that decision is the kind of approach that speaks volumes about how the organization views professional relationships, even during transitional periods. It may not make headlines, but trust me, it matters to players, it matters to locker rooms, and it can influence decisions that ripple throughout the league. Switching gears, there's a college player who caught my eye recently, and if you follow my coverage, you know that I pay attention not only to the NFL, but to rising talent in college that could shape the league's future. Fernando Mendoza, over the weekend, really impressed me in a game that showed off his mental toughness and his ability to perform under pressure. I watched a lot of quarterbacks come and go, but there's something about how Mendoza responds when things aren't going perfectly that makes him stand out. In a tight, challenging game at Happy Valley, he threw a critical interception that could have rattled most players, yet he bounced back immediately with a strong drive that secured the win for his team. That's the kind of resilience that scouts, analysts, and future teammates notice. Even though Penn State isn't having the best record this season, the level of competition he faced, coupled with the absence of his top receiver, makes that performance all the more impressive. For me, this is a player who could easily be in the conversation for the Heisman, and without a doubt, I'm keeping an eye on him as a potential top pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. If he ever ends up in Las Vegas, Raiders fans, we might just be seeing the foundation of a future star, someone who can grow into a central piece of this team for years to come. Comparing him to other quarterbacks, Drake May was my favorite in 2024, and Mendoza is shaping up to be a favorite moving forward. His poise, decision-making, and leadership on the field are exactly the traits you want to see in someone who could lead an offense at the next level. Now, speaking of quarterbacks, we can't ignore the ongoing conversation around Geno Smith and his relationship with Pete Carroll. It has been a topic of discussion across social media and NFL circles. Geno has been dealing with a quad contusion, and while there's always debate about whether a player should be benched when not performing at full health, this situation raises questions about leadership, decision-making, and consistency. It's clear that Geno has struggled at times, and yet he remains in the starting lineup. Some argue it's about loyalty, some about strategy, but I see it as a reflection of a coaching staff that sometimes prioritizes being right over doing what might be right in the moment. There are moments when rookie mistakes compound on veteran decisions, and how the team responds can define the culture in that locker room. Pete Carroll recently made comments about rookie errors, essentially stating that certain mistakes wouldn't happen with veteran players and that this isn't going to be forever. That statement alone raises eyebrows because veteran players make errors all the time, and it highlights the delicate balance between enforcing accountability and maintaining morale. The Raiders, like any team, rely on structure and trust, and any perception of favoritism or uneven treatment can ripple through the locker room. It will be interesting to see how this dynamic plays out as the season continues, particularly as we monitor Gino's performance and the team's overall cohesion. Leadership matters, and in the NFL, it can make or break not just games, but careers and reputations. Meanwhile, I want to take a moment to highlight the connection between players, families, and the community. The Jackson Powers Johnson family sent over a gift and a heartfelt note, and moments like these really remind us why Raider Nation is so special. It's more than just wins and losses. It's about the players who embody what being a Raider truly means, the relationships built off the field, and the inspiration they provide to fans. Jack Powers Johnson represents that ideal. He's a player who has the heart, the dedication, and the family support system that can serve as a pillar for this team. A pillar player isn't just someone with talent. They're someone you build around, someone whose character sets the tone in the locker room, someone whose family values translate into leadership and respect. For a team that has experienced ups and downs, moments like this give hope for the culture the Raiders want to cultivate, a culture of loyalty, perseverance, and mutual support. Off the field, maintaining health and energy is just as critical, especially during these long, grueling NFL weeks. Recovery, focus, and staying sharp are all essential for both players and fans who follow the grind day in and day out. Whether it's getting the proper nutrients, staying hydrated, or maintaining mental clarity, those little adjustments can make a big difference in performance and focus. It's a reminder that being a fan, just like being a player, requires dedication, awareness, and the drive to stay engaged no matter the circumstances. Raiders fans know this well. Supporting this team isn't always easy, but it's always worth it, and keeping that energy up both on game days and throughout the week is part of what makes Raider Nation so resilient and passionate. Ultimately, as we look at the Raiders' current state, from player decisions to coaching dynamics, to the emergence of new talent both in college and in the NFL, there's a lot to process and even more to be excited about. The future holds challenges, yes, but it also holds opportunities, moments of growth, and glimpses of the kind of football and leadership that can elevate this franchise. Watching how relationships influence decisions, how players like Mendoza rise to the occasion, and how pillar players like JPJ contribute to the team's identity paints a broader picture of where this team could go. Raider Nation, it's a journey, and right now, every choice, every play, and every moment of resilience counts toward shaping the next chapter of this organization. Continuing from where we left off, Raiders fans, there's another layer to consider when looking at this team and the path forward. While the spotlight often shines on big-name acquisitions and headline-making plays, the subtle dynamics within a roster and a locker room often determine a team's true identity. Take, for instance, the way younger players are navigating their roles. The rookies and developing players are constantly under scrutiny, and how they respond to challenges not only affects their growth, but also sets a precedent for the rest of the team. Mistakes happen, as they always do in football, but it's the recovery, the resilience, and the willingness to learn that separates those who rise to prominence from those who fade into the background. In Las Vegas, we've seen glimpses of potential, flashes of brilliance, and moments where individual talent shines. The question is how those moments are harnessed collectively to push the team forward. Now, looking at the quarterback situation, which has been a recurring topic this season, it's impossible to ignore the tension and debate surrounding the starting role. Geno Smith has faced criticism, scrutiny, and tough moments on the field, particularly when battling injuries. He's had a quad contusion that has limited his mobility, and yet he remains the starter. Some might question this decision, and it's fair to ask if inserting another quarterback might offer the offense more flexibility. However, there's also something to be said about leadership continuity. In a league where chemistry, timing, and trust are vital, coaches often weigh short-term performance against long-term stability. It's a delicate balance, and for the Raiders, this decision will either pay off or provide a learning opportunity. What's critical is that the team, including the coaching staff, maintains focus, adapts when necessary, and supports the players who step onto the field with full commitment. Fans often see the results, but it's the preparation, the mindset, and the trust that build the foundation behind those results. Beyond individual players, the Raiders' organizational culture is a factor that cannot be underestimated. Every comment from coaches, every approach to rookie development, and every interaction in the locker room contributes to the broader environment. Pete Carroll's recent statements about rookie mistakes sparked discussion across social media and the football world. While he emphasized accountability, it also highlighted the delicate nature of leadership in professional sports. Players notice what is said and how it is said, and these moments contribute to the perception of fairness and trust within the team. Maintaining a balance between accountability and encouragement is critical, especially when developing a winning culture. The Raiders, like all teams, are navigating this balance while striving to compete, and how they handle it will have implications for player morale and performance in the weeks to come. Switching back to the players making headlines, it's impossible not to emphasize the emergence of Fernando Mendoza. His performance this past weekend didn't just impress. It sent a clear signal about his ability to handle pressure, read defenses, and lead his team under challenging conditions. Players like Mendoza represent the future of football, and for fans watching closely, they offer a glimpse into the next generation of NFL talent. Whether or not he eventually finds his way to Las Vegas, his development is a reminder that the pipeline of talent in college football is filled with potential stars ready to impact the professional game. For the Raiders, scouting, player development, and vision for the future are all intertwined with these emerging talents. And understanding the trajectory of players like Mendoza is part of planning for long-term success. And let's not forget the impact of families and the support system around these athletes. Jackson Powers Johnson's family, for example, demonstrates the kind of backing that fosters both personal growth and professional dedication. The values instilled by family, the encouragement, and the unwavering support contribute to the player's mindset, leadership qualities, and ability to inspire teammates. It's not just about skill on the field. It's about character, resilience, and the ability to navigate challenges with composure. Raider Nation has seen how JPJ embodies these traits, making him a player around whom a team can build a culture of excellence, accountability, and mutual respect. Moments like receiving the card and signed jersey from his family are more than sentimental. They're symbolic of the kind of loyalty and dedication that the Raiders can harness to strengthen their locker room and team identity. As we continue to analyze the Raiders season, it's clear that every decision, every roster move, and every game outcome has a cascading effect. The choices made by players like Jacoby Myers, the emergence of future stars like Fernando Mendoza, and the development of rookies all feed into the narrative of this team. It's a narrative that is still being written, one that is full of both challenges and opportunities. The fans play an essential role in this story as well. Raider Nation is not just a spectator base. It's an active, engaged community that shapes the energy around the team. From supporting players during tough stretches to celebrating victories, the collective effort of fans adds a dimension that goes beyond the scoreboard. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Shockwaves are rippling through the NFL, and fans can hardly believe what they're hearing. Word on the street is that RASUL Douglas, the talented cornerback who has been a cornerstone for the Buffalo Bills secondary, is reportedly making a sensational move to the Las Vegas Raiders. The mere whisper of this potential transfer has sent social media into a frenzy, with fans, analysts, and insiders all speculating about what this could mean for the future of both franchises. Douglas, known for his ball-hawking skills and game-changing interceptions, has been a player that opposing quarterbacks dread facing. Over the past seasons, he's developed a reputation not just for his physicality, but also for his ability to read plays with almost uncanny precision. Now, the idea that he could be donning silver and black has sparked a mixture of disbelief and excitement across the NFL landscape. Raiders supporters, in particular, are reportedly ecstatic, imagining the possibilities of pairing Douglas with their already formidable defensive lineup. The chatter suggests that his arrival could dramatically shift the balance of power in the AFC West, potentially giving Las Vegas a boost in key matchups where defensive dominance can make all the difference. Of course, as with any major rumor, the details remain hazy. Sources hint at behind-the-scenes negotiations that have been ongoing for weeks, with Douglas and his representatives reportedly weighing options carefully. There are whispers that the move could involve complex trade discussions, possibly including draft picks or player exchanges, but nothing has been officially confirmed. NFL insiders are already debating the strategic implications. How would Douglas fit into the Raiders' defensive schemes? Could he become the cornerstone of a unit that has long struggled with consistency? And what does this mean for the Bills, who would suddenly lose one of their most reliable defensive weapons? Fans have taken to forums, podcasts, and social media channels to speculate on the impact. Some envision a perfect synergy with the Raiders' current roster, imagining highlight reel interceptions and late-game heroics. Others are cautious, reminding everyone that even superstar talent can face adjustment periods in a new system. Yet the buzz is undeniable. The mere rumor of RASUL Douglas in Las Vegas has electrified supporters and sparked intense debates among football aficionados everywhere. As the story develops, the NFL world watches with bated breath, knowing that if this move goes through, it could be one of the most talked about transactions of the season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.